What is up YouTube, it is Matty and welcome to the Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 11 recap from the war where we've just uploaded the Town Hall 9. I can't remember I can't pronounce that name because it's in Chinese and I have no idea where I would even start. So yeah, obviously I spoke a little bit about the reason why we lost in the last video. I will recap it on this one as well, just to give you guys an idea, because obviously it's rare to see us get defeated. Long and short of it, we had 5 Town Hall 11s, because Fam is Town Hall 10, Rob Stark being the lowest Town Hall 11, and they had 10 Town Hall 11s, which gave them a massive offensive advantage. They did have a load of burner accounts, so if we flick through the bottom end of the field, you'll be able to see all these sort of just wasted burner accounts that there's no point in them being in the war, other than, you know, the main reason, because as soon as you start getting to the real bases, you can see there's a massive jump up. They are anti 3-star, they are a proper war clan. So I'm not here to point fingers, but they do have a lot of burner accounts. They had 5 extra Town Hall 11s than us, and I think their lowest Town Hall 10 was 15, and our lowest is A-Treasy at 14. So just a pretty significant advantage, unfortunately for us. But what it meant is that if you look at our bases, so Psycho got hit by number 4 and 11, and 11 by number 5, and 11 at number 8, 11 at number 8 again, and 11 at number 5, and you can see that basically all of these hits are just 11 smashing the 10s and just smashing the 11s as well. So I don't know what their 10s did. But apparently not much. Maybe just scouted for the 11s. The only one that was not that, or a 10 on 10 was number 15 on A-Treasy. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start recapping some of these videos. We have got a couple of Town Hall 10 on Town Hall 10 action, a bit of Town Hall 10 on 10 for you, which is great actually, considering the massive disadvantage. We still were able to get some triples, but because there was such a huge deficit, it made it very difficult. And you'll actually see seeing that there are some Town Hall 9 2-stars on the 11s to try and help us out. It just wasn't going to go our way with the amount of power they threw at us. But the first attack we're going to look at is by which is a bowler attack, obviously. Bowlers have massive power. They are I don't know if you guys remember, but as soon as sort of Town Hall 10, the Valkyrie update came, GoVaHo and mass Valk attacks became the meta for the game. But nowadays bowlers have got a big place at Town Hall 10, and they can really be devastating if you get it right. It is quite awkward, I'm not going to lie, to get the timing right of everything. Spell wise particularly, funneling them in, they're not easy things. Dragons and stuff can cause massive problems if you're not careful, but if you can get your rage spell timings and your freeze spell timings perfectly, because you're going to need freezes when you're against Inferno Towers, you can really do some damage. Because look at it's the double layer of damage that they do, that ricochet effect that will take multiple defenses down. It makes it massively valuable for them. A couple of loons on the far right cannon there. Queen gets overwhelmed, but just look at all these bowlers we've got with the healers now. There are no more air defenses to cause the healers any threats, so it's just a case of the bowlers just moseying on around and then finishing up those last few defenses. It doesn't take much. They are soon dealt with. There is a little bit of cleanup required by those bowlers, so they need to break back out the base and carry on round. But it's not too much of a problem, and the raid is completed nice and comfortably by the look of it. So great job by there. Let's continue moving up, and we'll hit number 11 with Super Sai. Okay, so again it's a bowler attack, double heal, double freeze because of the Inferno towers. Is this a fully max base? Minus the king, it pretty much is, which is great. Nice to see some Channel 10 on Channel 10 action when it's a fully, almost a fully max base. Particularly with the walls and stuff, because that makes a big difference with bowlers. So at the moment, the funnel's being created. Is the queen going to walk the right way? You hope so, because if she starts walking the wrong way, it'll pull the healers away from the bowlers. And now's the moment of truth, and she decides to go the right way. That was a heart in hand sort of, stomach in the back of the throat sort of job for a second there, because if she'd have gone the other way and pulled those healers away into almost certain death, those bowlers would have had no chance of surviving, because they would have just been melted slowly but surely. Golem Loon in the CC, just needs to deal with that. You can see the freeze spell is down, rage spell down. Just needs to allow those healers to do their thing. They have gone in and they are now healing. They need them to push forward. There we go. The rage spell really helps drive the healers forward. Another good freeze spell there. Nicely timed. Hopefully the bowlers will get in on that Inferno tower before it can do damage, and it did. They did, and it did. So fantastic. Went down nice and quick, and you can see here Loon at the top side at 11 o'clock. That went down nicely. Just a few more defences down the bottom side now, using a few minions to clean up, which is always a good idea. 4 more loons to help out with the raid. I assume a couple are going to go on that bottom cannon. I guess we're going to find out soon, but I think he might just be waiting to see how it all goes. Give a chance for the bowlers and the healers to catch up before dropping the loons. Let those defences get distracted. I'd probably think around now, yep, there goes 2 loons and then a couple on the cannon as well. Caught by a trap, but it didn't matter. Good patience and timing on those loons there for the back end. Not that they've been massively valuable, because everything's caught up and is doing the damage. So just wanted to be safe, which he was, and got that triple, which was beautiful. So massive hit there by PwC. Okay, now we enter the Channel 10 remit. So let's see what we've got here. Jason being a Channel 9, let's have a look at what he was able to do. You can see when it's a massively exposed town hall, which sometimes they are on these anti 3-star layouts, it leaves them open to certain attacks. So most likely thing that's going to happen here is he's going to queen walk that side of the Town Hall tent, so probably from like 12:30 to 3 he'll do a queen walk, or the other way, doesn't matter, 3 till 12 and carry on walking around then. Oh, it's probably because the air defense by that Eagle artillery, if he'd have gone from north to south, the air defense would have destroyed the healers. So yeah, that's what happens when you have a very quick look. That was something obvious I sort of missed out on there, but really does make sense looking. I think the rage was slightly off. I don't think that all those healers are in that rage, which is why I think he ended up having to pop the ability there. That seems to be what is happening. But dragons to finish off the rest of the base, and you got your king. I don't know what's in the CC, so that'll be interesting. Second rage spell there to keep the queen moving, keep her heading to the right way. It might have been interesting to see a little break in towards 12 o'clock to try and cope with that air defense and the Eagle artillery, because that might have made a nice difference actually. I don't know whether he's going to try and keep her alive with another rage spell as she goes round, or if he's just going to let her walk and try and go and get some percentage. We're going to find out very soon. So the dragon, one dragon's down with a baby drag down the bottom side, starting to rack up some percentage. And now it's just a case of using dragons, loons. The queen is dead, as you just saw at the top side. A couple of rage spells there. So he's just trying to push through and rack up that percentage. So another 3 dragons in the camps. So letting the king run up the north side. There goes another dragon. Maybe one on that barracks might be a... no, that's the air defense actually. The air defences are nicely positioned on this base to make it quite awkward to get them. But 2 more dragons left. It'll be interesting to see how where it goes here, if he's going to be able to rack up any more percentage on the base. straight in towards the arch tower. They did get, was it just the one? Yeah, one more building. 58% is where we're going to finish on this one. So I hope you, yeah, that was quite a nice little attack. Got 55% by Narco on number 8. I guess that's going to be a similar story. But let's check out the 88% hit, which is an 11 on 11. This is a max town 11, so it's good. They're never easy when it's against max bases. Obviously, it's the anti 3-star layout. You can, well, you're going to see a mixture of bowlers and miners here that are going to, yeah, bring the are going to get close, but no cigar on this one. So with the Golem down to start, a couple of bowlers to start creating that funnel. Get the got the Warden down as well. So trying to just guide everything towards that central jump now. So you got to hope that the Queen goes the right way, the King, the bowlers and Golem go the right way, and everything starts heading in towards the core. Now catch the ability nicely there. Here we go. Here's the main part of the attack. All those bowlers going in now. It needs to be careful with that the Eagle Artillery, because it is going to cause some big damage to those bowlers. But we're getting those healers in is going to be imperative. He's got them in. Now he's using the invulnerability of the Grand Warden, which is good. Going to potentially need a freeze spell. Got the freeze on the north. The bowlers are finally in onto that second Inferno Tower. The Queen's separated, and in fact that Inferno has got away scot-free up there. Queen wasn't able to do enough to stay alive. Bowlers sort of swinging around the outside of the base, you can see, and tucking in on the inside. Going to help take down those final defences, but the issue is, obviously, with that Inferno alive over there, it'll put a stop to any remaining troops that are left. So, albeit that it was a really solid attack, it's just come down to that second Inferno Tower, not being able to get to it and get it down, and it's just going to melt away at the remaining troops that are left, and that's why it's going to be the 88% on this one. So, a little bit of a shame, but these things happen. It's never easy to triple these bases. So, yeah, let's crack on, and we can have a look at. I'm just thinking we'll go for number 4, which was hit by Base Clemens. Let's have a little look. So bowlers and miners again are going to call the deadly combo that they can offer, because the miners just sweep around their outside. They don't need much looking after in terms of spells either, so they can quite nicely complement the bowler, the mass bowler hit. So you have to sacrifice quite a few bowlers to be able to carry enough miners to make it worthwhile, but they can really help just eliminate some defences. Wow, Malcolm is screaming. Okay, so a couple of those healers have sort of started to run wayward. I don't know if that's going to help. It's going to delay the healing process, which is never a good thing. But they're back in now, so it's not the end of the world. So that they sort of got away with that one. Like that Grand Warden ability there is to put a nice little stop to the Inferno doing too much damage. With the Eagle Artillery gone, the Inferno Tower 1 gone, it's just a question of how can he get that second Inferno down. I'm going to need to use the miners nicely here, and you can see they're all at the top side. They're going to swing around the outside, and what they're sort of you're hoping that they're going to do is push those bowlers to keep moving inwards, and to not worry about these outside defences, not try and break out on the outside, but to just keep heading towards the the Inferno Tower, and keep heading towards those defences, and let the miners just deal with those that external bit. So you can see here we're actually getting some ricochet damage and possibly ricochet death, not quite, but that Inferno did go down, but very good ricochet damage off the wall there to put some massive damage on that Inferno Tower. You can see there are quite a few defences left, but the miners are doing their thing. They are still moving around the outside and taking the buildings down. The Queen ability is still in check, so with only a few defences left to go, it's going to be that nice beautiful triple that we love to see. So yeah, massive hit there. Number 3, Psycho. We know Psycho, he's an absolute demon when it comes to raiding. So let's have a little look at what he does. 32 miners, what the hell. Okay, so got a wall breaker fail at the start there. Had a backup set just in case. That what's it called? Springtrap really didn't do any favours. But we got a nice little spot for the Queen Walk to go in. And this is going to be good for a few reasons. Funneling being one, getting rid of some defences is number two. I mean, potentially you're going to reach the Queen there. I don't think you're going to get the Queen actually. But he's getting a load of skelly traps, that's for sure. Just hoping you get a bit more value than that. You're going to get the sweepers though, but the Queen's running. No, you're not going to get the sweepers because the Queen is actually running around the outside. He couldn't break back in there, which looks like is what he wanted to do. And now here we go. King doing a little bit of funneling for him. And in go the miners. He's trying to get to that first Inferno Tower as quickly as possible. Heal spell is there to try and keep everyone alive. Eagle Artillery there, bit of invulnerability just to help out. With the minions, minions can be quite devastating to the miners because they've got quite a high, and obviously baby dragons, they've got quite a high DPS, but the miners are rushing through and doing okay. So you got a few in the core that are just running around all over the place. It was a bit weird to watch miners because you can barely keep track of where they're going and where they are and how they're splitting and that sort of thing. But right now we're looking okay. We need to deal with that next Inferno Tower. The Queen's got into a nice spot actually. She's helping take down that Eagle Artillery. He has got the ability to keep her alive versus that Expo. And particularly now is good because she's... the miners are coming in to start distracting that Expo, which is great. Another set of miners coming in towards that Inferno Tower eventually. Queen's back in. She can't get the Expo down, which is really unfortunate. I was hoping that was going to go down then. But the Inferno Tower does go. The healers are now being useful again because they are no longer negated. There's only a few defences left, including that Expo. Splash damage is there, but the miners are just about able to go okay. One caught with a spring. Final few defences now. That cannon is just about to go down, and here we go. That darned Expo that got away. The miners come back and finish him off. So awesome hit there by Sai. That was just ridiculous. And then number one. Let's have a little look. So again, miners. Mass miners seems to be the way to go. Okay, initial start, breaking the Queen in with the Warden, trying to get a bit of a walk going. We'll be able to get the Eagle Artillery. Is it going to be a suicide mission because of the Infernos? Maybe not, if he's because he has got a freeze spell, you can see. So possibly that he's going to try and keep the Queen alive to be able to walk in and then back out. So minion there down to try and push the Queen inside the base. She will get onto that cannon. Looks like the cannon's going to go down, and then everyone goes in. So now this is exactly what he wanted to happen. Needs that Queen to take down the Tesla to stop the damage coming, and here we go, nice and comfortably taking that Eagle Artillery down with only one cannon on her. So she's looking good. Here comes the rage because he knows the inevitable. She's going to go into the path of those Inferno Towers at some point soon. However, she's going to get into and be able to take down one of those Inferno Towers, which is brilliant. We're going to see here, look, Rage Spell is down. And the Grand Warden ability has been used just to try and catch a couple of those miners and to help the Queen survive. And the Queen's looking good. So with one Inferno Tower already down and the Eagle Artillery down and a bunch of defences, just needs to deal with the CC. Do not want those loons dropping on the top of the miners, which it doesn't look like they have. So looking pretty good up there. You need to try and hope you get a decent split. Now you don't want that... what's it called? You don't want that Inferno Tower just melting out all of those Hog Riders, because it can and will if it's left there long enough. But there's enough miners there to just cause it a bit, take it to be able to get it down basically. With quite a few of them still injured now, The healers have gone with the queen. She's going to melt, and the healers are now going to travel all the way back across the base, back over to those miners to try and help out. They could do with it, to be honest. She's healing the Grand Warden. Sort yourself out, healers. They have now switched back and actually decided to be useful again, which has just brought this raid right back into play. There's only a few defences left and about 25 miners there just ready to destroy. It's crazy watching mass miners. Wow. Okay, hope you guys have enjoyed the Town Hall 10 Town 11 recap from that war. It was definitely exciting. Unfortunately, the disadvantage at the top end of the field was just too much for us to combat. So hey ho, but we pulled out some good attacks. Hope you guys enjoyed those, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.